What is up, fellow van builders? Welcome back to the channel. It's Scott. It's good to have you here. I am working on the supports for the shower surround. And because I made this thing so damn big, and it doesn't land necessarily right on a roof support where I could put an 80-20 brace straight up to that and drill it into the roof support, I've got to make a bracket here, affix it to the roof support and bring it across in order for this to be strong and secure. So, we got a shower door that's going to go on here. Building the rest of this out requires, strength to connect other things to it. On this side, on the outside of this, facing the bed, I got, a TV mount that's going to go on here. Plus, I'm going to mount the fixtures for the shower itself. So these two need to be strong. So they're going to obviously hook into the 80-20 below, but I have to figure out a way to anchor it. Now, what I've got so far is, well, let me just show you. Here is sort of the structure that I've got planned. So that'll go on the roof support. I've got, nutserts here that will fit in just like this. So I've made the holes, right? Used a step bit, drilled out the right size holes. So that I need two of these, so that's one of them. But in essence, it'll be this, an L joint bracket here, the brace that comes across, and it'll attach to that, essentially that shower upright, which would be, let's say, like right there. So that's kind of the plan. And I'm going to use this tool to, secure the nutserts into that brace. And by the way, I was messing around with this. This thing is pretty well useless in a van build because everything, you're parked this way in a driveway, maybe down, pitch this way, pitch that way. Anytime you try to use one of these, it gives you a false plumb line. Well, it's an actual accurate plumb line, but you can't follow it. So what you end up having to do is you really just got to line it up with the straight lines in the van. So like right now I'm using that door line down there. And if you see the door line down there and look at these, I mean, I'm even talking to myself right now that second one is tilted in. So I'm going to spend a little time lining that up before I know exactly where I'm going to drill in and affix the nutserts. Well, I'm just going to have to remember that one's at a little bit of an angle on it. I can move it this way a bit. So let's see what we got. We got two marks, although that one right there is not very good. Try to darken it. I think I'm going to get a Sharpie because pencil can be a bit challenging. So maybe to make it a little bit more clear, right? That's going to go right there. And nutserts affixed right into that cross support. And the L bracket will go on here, and a piece of 80-20 will come over to this and connect to this one with an L bracket. Looks pretty good. I've eyeballed this direction and like what I'm seeing. So I'm going to mark this. Go in here and mark this one. Uh-oh. That's going to be a weird mark. Shoot. I need a shorter pencil. Dang it. All right, I'm using a step bit, which should suffice, and hopefully I don't tear up all this insulation. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm through, but I do want to have this nutsert relatively close just so I don't overshoot this thing. Okay, something tells me that's enough. Look at this. This is your typical just sort of magnet to pick up things, lost bolts, what have you. And I thought what I would do is I'd stick them in there and see if I could get the metal fragments out for where I did the, nutsert holes. And I got quite a few out. So I think this is a worthy approach to get those metal fragments out when you have a situation where you're drilling in a van and you got a challenging sort of spot, and you can get this in that hole down in there and try to clear out those metal fragments. Take the Q-tip, roll it around to get your paint, and just go in and out of there and coat it. Get that nice and coated, let it dry a bit before we go to the nutsert tool to put these nutserts in the hole so we can move on to the bracing. Okay, so we've got one nutsert in here and I'm getting ready to put the other one in. So I'm going to screw this one on. Okay. All right, here we go. Nope. Yeah, that one actually looks good. That one in there? Yeah, it feels like that's in there. Okay. All right, that's tight. And that one's tight. Let's see, this one's gonna come. I just need a short piece to go from there to there. This is tilted slightly down, so I could cut a slight angle on this way to bring this back straight, sort of vertical. Okay, well there's a good look, I think, of the whole erector set in terms of how it's set up here, and it's really pretty strong. We're in this cross member here with nutserts, and this is strong aluminum, 80/20 15 series, all the way through it. So, okay, I can give us a look over here. That's the bracing. All right, I'm gonna go easier on myself, and I'm just gonna do one hole in here in a nutsert and a one hole in here on this other side, and put these elbows in like this, one on this side. And then I'm gonna span this entire distance with 15 series 80/20, and that gives me braces on both sides when I hook this in, and then there'll be less likelihood for this to move this way. I just feel like that's much more stable, and I was trying to use cutoffs, which I did on this other side only, to put the bracing up, and so I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go for the whole deal. So that's gonna require some measurements. Let's see what we got here. That's 21 3/4. Okay, so 21 3/4. Which would put it about right there. Get your glasses on, safety first. decided this post where I want it. So I'm trying not to move that at all. And then I'm gonna, this is where the nutsert's gonna go right here. So I'm making the mark for that. And at the same time, hold everything steady. Come over here and make the mark for this nutsert. Okay, we're in. All right, let's do the old magnet method on this second hole. Just put that down in there and find some metal shavings. Q-tip, and try to apply paint to the exposed metal of where I cut those holes. Tighten it all the way up, then pull. Tighten that down, that's good. And this is really stable. Okay, so here's a good look at this completed cross member. You can see very sturdy, anchored all the way across. So post number two is done. So there's the first one version, using cutoff pieces. There's the second one. We got both corner posts in. We're gonna roll one in right here. And you can just take something to turn it. Your fingers will work usually. Of course, not this time. Let me roll this one in here. Okay, that worked the very first time. Oh, there we go. Now we're in. All right. So let's bring this up a little bit. Okay, that one's grabbing. Put this one in the right spot. And that one's also grabbing. As I said earlier, I'm going to come back through here off the video, back these out and put some Loctite on them so they're easy to disassemble. That's the beauty of 80/20. Very easy to disassemble and reassemble. Okay. All right, gang, thanks for joining me here as I stand in the palatial shower for, let's call it a shower series. So just got started with it, got some really strong supports up here and here. Starting to side up the Nautilus shower door, and got to figure out how the rest of the structure is going to come together so that it functions appropriately. And look for that in future videos. Thanks for joining me. Be good. Bye-bye.